Hi, I'm Shirley, and I've been living in China for about 16 years, and always wanted to travel, but unfortunately when I was a teen I really got lost in life, and life was meaningless. So this young gentleman has asked me, what is the meaning of life, in a sense, what's your philosophy of life? And when I was 21, I decided that I would hitchhike alone to the Yukon. And I remember looking up in the sky and just saying to whoever might be listening to me, please don't let this crazy antic be my last, because this is something that I would do. I'd think of fun things to do and risk my life. And I actually cut my hair and put a backpack on so I looked like a boy, and I hitchhiked all the way through the grizzly territory and through into the Yukon. And while I was there, I lived in this 6-foot-long tent with 2 feet high tent. And as I looked around the creation, I began to realize that the God that I had been taught about must be far greater than I really understood deep in my heart. And I began to seek Him. And as I was seeking Him, He began to reveal Himself to me. But unfortunately, on the way back from our trip, I was hitchhiking back, and it was midnight on the Alaska Highway, and everything was pitch black, and there were just trees, forest, gravel roads, no people, no homes. And right at midnight, the mining dredge that we were pulling with the Jeep came unloose, and the whole Jeep just rolled. And 3 of us were inside with the dog, and just before the Jeep started to roll, I cried out to God, and I said, God, please no. And I cried out for myself and for the people in the vehicle and even for the dog. And what happened was my whole body went like jelly, and I just rolled with the Jeep out, and then my friend rolled out, and then the driver was stuck, but he was survived, and the whole vehicle was totaled. And even the dog was running around, and the dog was fine. And it was when that happened that I really began to understand that there was a God who is taking care of me. And honestly, I began to fear Him. I began to realize that I wasn't living right. And when I did discover Him, I realized He forgave me for all that, and that God is Jesus, and now I follow Him. And interestingly enough, this is my husband Doug, and he was traveling in Europe in 1980, and he was going through the same experience I was in 1980, traveling in the Yukon in Canada, and now we're happily married, and here we are.